Hi, this is the express video for bleeding your Shimano mountain bike brakes with our bleed kit, for people who've got no time. You'll find the in-depth version here. Before you start, prepare the syringes by connecting each of them to a hose. Now fill one of the syringes with about 20 milliliters of mineral oil. Just pull the plunger back entirely. Air in the hose will then move into the syringe. You have to press it out. To do so, hold the syringe so that its opening is the highest point and press the excess air out. You really don't want any air left in the system. Connect the second syringe to the brass nozzle. It's also an option to remove the hose from the plunger and shorten it. You would need the red clamp for that. We recommend you simply leave the plunger on, as demonstrated in this video. Now, get your brake caliper ready for bleeding. You first have to take off the wheel, a quick and easy task with disc brakes. Then, remove the brake pads to make sure that no oil contaminates them. Next, place the bleed block between the pistons. This will push the pistons back. Don't worry if you have to use some force. Lock the bleed block in place with the pad retaining screw. Next, place your brake lever in a horizontal position, such that the bleed screw is the highest point. If you have an adjustment screw for lever reach, screw it outwards completely, so that the lever is as far away as possible from the handlebars. If you have an adjustment screw for the free stroke, screw it inwards or clockwise completely. Now, fit the hose of the filled syringe onto the bleed nipple on the brake caliper. The nipple is usually under a rubber dust cap. Putting on the hose may require some force, but it is unfortunately necessary to make sure the hose sits well and seals. It works best if you fit the hose coming from the side. It's best to then attach the syringe to the frame or fork with the reusable zip tie. Attaching the syringe facing upwards in a vertical position is advantageous. Gravity will work for you, ensuring that the air always moves upwards and you don't push any air from the syringe back into the system. Now it's back to the brake lever. Remove the bleed screw using a 2.5mm Allen key for mountain bike brakes or a 2mm key for road brakes. With Shimano, the bleed screw is fitted with an O-ring. Make sure not to lose it. It may happen that the ring stays in the borehole when you remove the screw. It happens often. In that case, make sure to take it out and safely put it aside. Now you can screw on the second syringe. Be careful, it only needs to seal for the next few minutes, and not the next 10,000 meters of altitude. Now you can start bleeding your brakes. Use the 7mm open-end wrench to open the bleed nipple on the brake caliper. To do so, turn the nipple a quarter turn counterclockwise. Some models need to be opened by a set screw on the side. Open it with a 3mm Allen key. Start by gently depressing the plunger of the syringe attached to the brake caliper. This will fill the syringe above. If there is air in the system, you should now see bubbles rising in the syringe. If the oil that is now in the syringe above isn't clean, then remove it, collect the old oil, and dispose of it properly, at a recycling depot or a gas station, and then fill the syringe back up with the same amount of clean oil. Please don't just pour the old oil down the drain or into the trash. It's got no business there and really needs to be disposed of properly. Now repeat the process in the other direction, depressing the plunger of the lever syringe. Repeat this several times until there are no more air bubbles. From time to time, pull back and quickly release the brake lever and tap up and down the hydraulic hose. This can free air bubbles that might be stuck somewhere along the line. Okay, you're almost done now. You can close the nipple on the brake caliper with the open-end wrench or 3mm Allen key and remove the syringe. Reinstall the rubber dust cap and wipe up any excess oil with a rag. Next, we'll focus on the lever again. Pull it back 2 or 3 times until you've got a clean pressure point again. Once that's the case, you can remove the lever syringe. The oil should be flush with the top of the borehole. If need be, just add a couple more drops from the syringe. Luckily, you didn't lose your locking screw and O-ring. Now's the time to reinstall them and seal the whole thing off. And that's it, all in all. It's best if you clean your brake caliper and brake lever with isopropyl alcohol, but soap suds work too. Of course, you have to reassemble now. Remove the bleed block on the brake caliper, reinstall the brake pads, reattach the wheel, readjust the brake lever to riding position, and readjust your lever reach and, if you've got one, your free stroke as well. I hope these instructions were easy to follow and you've got a sound pressure point again. If you've got any questions, write us, either directly via email or in the comments. If not, happy riding!